Hey guys, so I'm going to record today the weekly recap for gold and NAS. As always, we're going to start on gold and we're going to start on the 4-hour time frame. So just delete all of my notes here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on Monday. So let's find Monday of this week. So this was Monday here. So as always, we try to find the direction on the 4-hour time frame. And then we try to trade in that direction. So for Monday, price is bullish, so I'm looking for buys. So then I go to 1 hour and I see what the direction is. Direction I notice is also bullish, so I'm looking for buys, right? I'm looking for buys. So then the next thing I need to do is look for a setup. So I remember this day there was no setup prior to 8 o'clock, which is when I trade. Excuse me, I trade from 8 to 10. So I noticed that price created at this level here, which is a possible QMR on a lower time frame. So then I would drop down, right? And I drop down even further because I'm trying to refine it. So this is the level I mark because it's the most refined level. If you go to the 5-minute, you can even see it's the most obvious as well. Right, so this was the setup. 5-minute, 15-minute QMR is the same level, so it's the same setup. So this was for Monday. So this was a great trade because the 4-hour was bullish, the 1 hour was bullish. All you need to do is find a setup in that direction. So the only setup that was available was the QMR. So that was the setup that I took. And it's as simple as that. So let's go back to the 4-hour. Let's try Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday, this was Tuesday. So Tuesday, I just marked this support here before price got to New York. So price is bullish still. So I'm still looking for buys on Tuesday. So now I go to the 1 hour. And then I noticed that on the 1 hour, price is now bearish, right? So I need to find a flip in this area here. So I need price to flip bullish. So I go to the 30. And what I notice is that price created a QMR. So originally this was my setup. So I just marked it down. I go to the 15 just to see if it makes sense. Makes sense. It's still a shoulder. I could have used this. It doesn't really matter. They're both really close together. And then I could use this as the apex. But price never came back to it. So price never came back in session. In session is the green shadow. It's just from 8 to 10. So there was no trade this day. So obviously price came back later, but I don't trade outside of session because that's too late already. So Tuesday was a miss, so I reset. I need to go to Wednesday now and find out if there's anything on Wednesday. So Wednesday, this was Wednesday. So again, prior to the New York session, I'm just kind of seeing where price is. So price is bullish. I'm just figuring out direction. So price is bullish for Wednesday, so I'm looking for buys. Right, and then this was Wednesday. So Wednesday, I noticed that price is bullish, so I'm looking for buys. Now I just need to find if there's a setup. I don't think there was a setup this day. I think I skipped it, but let me just see. Yeah, this day was skipped. There was no setup. Yeah, there was no setup on this day, so I didn't see any setup. So price was just pretty much in this range until it decided to break out of it. So for me, there was no setup. So this was a no good day. So far only Monday was a A+ trading day. So Monday is the only great trade of the week on gold. And nothing on Tuesday, nothing on Wednesday. Let's see for Thursday, where we're at Thursday. So Thursday, for myself personally, I took a loss on this one. I'll just show you why. So I saw prices bullish. It's between this higher high and higher low. So in this area, I was looking for buys. So I just got in a little bit too early, but also too, there was no setup. There's no setup down here. I don't take double bottoms as a setup. So for me, I didn't bother with that. So basically the 4 hour is bullish and the 1 hour is clearly bearish, right? You can see that here. So what I noticed before session for myself was that right about here, price had a break and retest. So I was expecting personally for myself, price to come back to one of these levels and continue to go up. So for myself, I was expecting price to go to this level and continue up, go to this level and continue up, right? But I got stopped out, so I took a loss. But that's okay, because I followed my rules. And then price pretty much ended up ranging within this area. So I would still take this trade every time because it obeys my rules. I'm following the 4 hour direction. I'm not following the 1 hour direction. Even though you can see here that this 1 hour is bearish, I'm following this structure here because this structure here is bullish and I can see price continuing to go back up and eventually break this, right? That's how this becomes bullish on 1 hour, is when it breaks this. But how does it get there is by putting in higher lows, potential higher lows here, right? So that's the logic that I was thinking. But it didn't work out as planned, so totally fine. Nothing I can do. I just reset. I go to the next day, which is Friday, I think. Was this Friday? That was Thursday? Yeah, Friday. So again, I mark my higher highs and higher lows prior to the New York just to kind of see where price is at. So this is the higher high and higher lows. Price is basically in a range, right? So price, if you zoom out, price is in this range, right? It's just been in between the higher high and higher low. So prior to the New York session, though, on Friday, I was looking for buys still because I'm still following the direction of the higher time frame. So on this time frame, which is the 1 hour, so 4 hours bullish, right? Sorry, 4 hours bullish. Now I need to figure out what the 1 hour is. So it looks like 1 hour is bearish because price broke that level here. So 1 hour is bearish, 4 hours bullish. So I'm still looking for buys. And then in this area, I was looking for buys, but I didn't see anything clear, obvious. That I wanted to take for a buy. There was nothing obvious to me. So yeah, there's nothing, no buys. So I didn't bother trading this day. So that's basically it. So only Monday. Honestly, there was only one A+ trade, which is on Monday. On Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday when I lost. Let me just see. When was that? Was that Thursday? Or, let me see. Sorry. Oh, Thursday. Sorry. Yeah, Thursday is when I lost. So it would have been a great trade if price obviously respected this and price were to continue to go up. But price has other plans. I can't predict. I can only follow my rules. Would I take this trade again? I absolutely would take it again. And then so the only really A+ trade was on Monday, right? Basically, price was clearly trending up, and then we had a clear QMR within here. So we had direction, we had location, and we had logic and a setup. So all things were good. Let's go to NAS now. Take a look at NAS, see what happened in NAS. Let's go to Monday. This was Monday. So Monday, what am I looking for? I'm looking for buys. So I go to the 1 hour time frame. This was Monday. 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish. Now you could have used this level, wait for closing price as a break and retest, but personally I didn't do that because my stop loss is only 10 points and I would have gotten taken out. But this is definitely a valid setup on a 1 hour time frame because you had closing price and you had a shift of structure because price was bearish and then it went bullish on the 1 hour, right? So this is a perfectly great setup, but me personally, I did not take it. It's not something I was looking for. I was looking more for I saw the shift of structure. I waited for the shift, and then I was just looking for a setup within here. But I didn't find any setup within there on a lower time frame. Me personally, like I just didn't see any setup that I would have taken that was clean and obvious to me. But that's okay. So that was just a skip for me personally. So Monday there was no trade for myself. So now I just reset. I go to Tuesday. Sorry. So this was Tuesday. So Tuesday, I noticed that price is bullish, but I'm paying attention to the location of where price closed. So price closed at just above this previous breakout, but the range is too small. So I'd expect price to have a bigger pullback. But anyway, let's just say that we're trading it based off of what we know. So Tuesday price is bullish. Obviously, we need to see what the 1 hour is. 1 hour is clearly bullish. So if I was looking for buys, I'd be looking in this area to see if there's any setup. So that would be my logic, is that price is bullish on the 30, price is bullish on the 4 and the 1 hour, right? So what I would have noticed is that you have a break and retest here, right? This is absolutely valid. You could have taken this. Let me see the 15, but I'm just going to show you. I'm just showing you what I would have done. Obviously, this was an earlier break and retest, but this is at around 8 o'clock. I don't trade that, so if I was trading continuation, I would have taken this trade. Break and retest, because the break and retest is valid, but again, it's outside of my session time. As soon as it gets to like 10 o'clock, I'm not trading. So if it hasn't hit the level, if it doesn't hit the level by 9:30, 9:45 the latest, there's a higher probability that it's not going to work out. It's going to lose. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But it would have been a great trade if it was in session. It was outside session, so that's why it didn't work out. So that's totally fine, because we don't trade outside of session. We got to stick to our rules. So that's basically it for Tuesday. Now let's check on Wednesday. So now Wednesday we have a shift. We have a shift here because price breaks this level of support. Price is now bearish, so I'm looking for sells on Wednesday. So Wednesday I'm looking for sells. So let's see if we have anything on the 1 hour. So 1 hour is bearish, 4 hours bearish, right? Price closes in this area here. You can see price made a potential lower high. So now I need to find a setup, right? So I'm looking for a sell. I don't see anything on the 1 hour, obviously. I don't see anything on the 30-minute. And then I see something on the 15. This is the first thing I noticed, that price created a potential QMR, right? So then what I do is I drop down to the 5-minute to see if it makes any sense, if I can refine it, because I'm always looking to refine the level. So for me, this is what I saw, and then I simply move it to this level. And then this would have been the apex here. So these are my two entries. Why? Because it's a QMR. Obviously, you guys can see it's a QMR, right? You have the high, the low, higher high, lower low, and then price came back and went down, right? So the only setup so far on NAS was on Wednesday. That was A+. This was a really good trade because 4 hour was bearish, the 1 hour was bearish. Also, on the 1 hour, the location was at a potential new lower high, right? It was in this area here. It was a potential lower high. So the 15 and the 5-minute created a QMR, and then that was the setup, right? So it was a good trade that day. So now let's see what happened on Thursday. So again, I always reset to the 4 hour just to get direction. So Thursday, what I noticed is that obviously price is still bearish. It's within this leg. Oops. Right, price is bearish within this leg. So we see where the 5 o'clock candle closed all the way up here. So I'd be looking for sells, most likely. I just need to check the 1 hour and see what makes sense. So sells make sense because the 4 hour is bearish and the 1 hour is bullish, but I'm still looking for sells. The only level that I saw was this QMR on the 1 hour, but price never got to it. But that would have been the trade I would have taken. if I'm looking for sells, because if you go down the 30-minute, there's no sells in the 30-minute, right? No sell setup. Go down the 15-minute, right? And there's no sell setup in session on the 15, right? So there's no point to continue to go down. So that was that. Now I need to reset, go to the 4-hour, take a look to see what happened on Friday. So again, price is bearish. It's within this leg still, right? Price respected this OHLC at 5 o'clock. And now I'm looking for sells. So what I notice right away is that there's this breakout here. So price never reached this level. So I'm not going to use that anymore. I'm going to use this level because this is a break and retest, right? And it's within this EG sell zone. And this would have been my potential lower high, right? So you can see price is pulling back up to it, right? And this was the level that I was looking to sell from. So what I did was I looked within this area to see if, if it made any sense on a lower time frame. So I just dropped time frames. So I go to the 30-minute. I don't see anything that makes sense. On the 15-minute, I don't see anything that made sense. So then I go down the 5-minute. And then this is when I noticed that there was a QMR within this level. So for me personally, these were the two levels. And then go back. Now it shows that price didn't hit because this is Oanda, but in my broker, this level hit. So it's always important to check your broker to make sure that you use the correct levels, because I'm using Oanda to do my analysis and I'm using a broker to execute the trades, right? I use FTMO right now. So FTMO, it hit the level, right? But if you just mark it at this level here, that's absolutely fine too. But just to let you know kind of what happened. So that's basically it. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.